is enough.
I want the world to be the best place for my children.
You are not alone.
We need renegades to be part of this movement, and they're the ones that are going to change the world.
Welcome back to Renegade Radio, the podcast dedicated to the dissenters of the status quo, bringing you the mindset and strategies to build a healthier, happier, and stronger family, the Renegade way.
It's so important to be a renegade.
Welcome back to Mindset Monday. This is Dr. Todd Gignac, your host on Renegade Radio. Welcome back, gang. The topic of today's show, what are you tolerating? As this show, the whole theme of the Renegade family, if you will, is happier, healthier, stronger families for a better world and a better future, right? But it starts in our home. It starts with us, because we can't control what others do, and we can't impact the whole world ourselves, but we can focus on our family, and hopefully that'll ripple to the families around us and our community and to our, ripple, right? Lots of families, healthy, happy, strong families. If we have a nation full of that, we've got a healthy, happy nation, don't we? That can change the world. So, whoop, whoop, that's what we're starting with. So what are you tolerating? Well, we can focus on what are you tolerating from others. You can't control what others do. You can't control what your spouse or partner does. You can't control your kids. Now, before you go crazy on me there, you should educate and instill wisdom in your kids and guide them. But at the end of the day, you can't control them and you can't be around them 24/7, right? I'll give you a quick example. My beautiful daughter, Tiana, she's got some issues that we've been working on for a while, and food sensitivities and things like that. So when she's home, we can guide that process, and we're constantly educating her. And she knows right from wrong. She's 11, and she's very wise for 11. But the other day, she went to a friend's birthday party. And what do they have at birthday parties? You guessed it, cake. So the cake is full of, refined flour, which is full of gluten and sugar. And then they got the icing on the cake, which is full of colors and so on and so forth, right? Definitely not what Tiana should be eating. So what happened that night? It was a rough night. She had itchy skin, she was sneezing and sniffly, and she gets these weird, she's talking in her sleep and just very restless. And so we had to have a chat about that with her this morning. And, sweetheart, do you think you made the right choice? Not beating her up about it, but just letting her come to the realization that, you know what, a slice of cake and a lollipop, it's really not worth it, There's a lot of healthy treats that we can make for her in lieu of the standard crud that's served up. It was very nice of the family to invite her over and offer her some cake and everything, but that didn't serve Tiana any good. So point being is, I couldn't control that, and I can't be, controlling anybody. The only person I can control is myself. So back to what are you tolerating? Let's start with yourself. What are you tolerating? When you look in the mirror, do you like what you see, or do you tolerate what you see? Right? I'm tolerating my body, and I'm making excuses for it. I'm tolerating my current level of health and fitness, making excuses for it. So why tolerate it? Why set your standards low? Set your standards high and shoot for excellence. In a previous podcast, we talked about that. Are you aiming too low? Right? There's no glory in aiming too low in a life lived shorter than what you're capable of. What else are you tolerating? Well, are you tolerating negative people in your life who might be dragging you down, who might be making you feel bad emotionally, or who might be, dragging you down in the sense of you might have hopes and dreams and aspirations, but they're telling you all the reasons that you can't do it, you shouldn't do it, and basically being a discouragement to you. Right? Are you tolerating that? You don't have to tolerate it. And at the end of the day, again, it's your life. So what you tolerate, it's going to be in front of you. So let's talk about setting some higher standards. What about your workplace? If we just look at the four core areas of your life, your body, business, being in balance, what are you tolerating? So we talked about your body a bit. What are you tolerating? If we talked about your business, your work life, your financial life, what are you tolerating? Do you love going to work? Do you hate going to work? Are there people in your work life that you would just assume not be around? And that we're not judging and slamming other people here, but if they're making your day rough and making you miserable to some degree, we might need to make a shift. Shift departments, shift jobs. If you're the boss, you might need to let them go and replace them with somebody who you love being around all day. You're in control. If you're an employee somewhere and you're surrounded by negative folks, you might need to make a job shift, right? What are you tolerating? Okay. Are you letting your loved ones and or coworkers, it could be, kind of push you around? Have you been a mat? Are people wiping their feet on you? Are you tolerating that? Are you letting somebody take advantage of you because you're too nice or you're too soft? Okay. Moms, in my experience, the mothers out there tend to be most guilty of this. They put everybody first. And after a while, the kids or the husband or the family might take that for granted. And it's just, well, mom will handle that. Mom will do this. Mom will take care of that. And mom tolerates it because she loves her family. But at the end of the day, mom is now suffering, and there's not even anybody to talk to about it. So if you're listening, mom, and that's you, or dad, could go both ways. We need to have some serious conversations with the people around you and set some boundaries. Are you tolerating your children's behavior? Who's ruling the roost? Is it your house or their house? Right? I see it all the time. We have young kids, so we see what other kids are like, and we see them in how they behave in their home, and how they behave in our office, even because we see a lot of kids in our practice, and it's just like, wow, okay, I'm not judging here, but those kids run the roost. They're calling the shots, and mom and dad are just, oh, please don't do that, please don't do this. My father gave me some wise advice when we were expecting our first child, and it was simply this: your children need to learn to live with you, not just you learning to live with a baby or a child. They need to learn to live. They're coming into your house. You're the parent. You set the boundaries, and they're counting on us to do that, by the way. Our kids are counting on us to set boundaries. If they're acting up, chances are it's because they want us to step up. They want to be disciplined. They want those boundaries. So set them. You're not doing your kids any favors by letting them run amok, by letting them run the show, by letting them make bad decisions, by letting them talk back to you, or other adults for that matter. Set the standard. There's got to be consequences. I'd say the number one thing that I see are parents are tolerating bad behavior, and they go, oh, Joey, there's just no, I just can't do anything about it. And I'm just sitting there thinking, the heck you can't. There's no consequences, right? Joey can come in the house with muddy shoes and step all over your couch, and you can get upset and yell at Joey, but then there's no consequence. So guess what? Joey's going to do it tomorrow, and Joey's going to have his way time and time again because there's no consequences for his disobedience. There's no respect for your authority as parent. So what are you tolerating? Sorry, I went off on a little tangent with the kids there, but that's a big one. That's a big one. So if you're a parent listening, again, I'm not disparaging or judging. I have not figured out how to be the perfect parent, and I never will be. But at the end of the day, it's your house. You're the parent. Your children are expecting you and counting on you, because if they don't have those boundaries and respect as a child, they're not going to have them as an adolescent and as a teen, and that's going to go right through into adulthood, and it's not going to serve them well at all. Okay? All right. So what are you tolerating? I'm going to suggest that we start tolerating awesomeness and tolerate excellence. If you're tolerating anything less than excellence or the pursuit of excellence, well, let's bump it up. Let's start by kicking it up a notch. Talk with your family, talk with your coworkers, talk with your boss. If you are the boss, start making changes. Oh, my employees, so-and-so keeps turning up 10 minutes late. But, they're a good employee, and I don't want to rock the boat and make a stink, so I'll just let them keep turning up 10 minutes late. Right? So that's one little thing digging at you. They did it again. And then, well, my spouse keeps doing this, and my kids, they leave all their dirty dishes in the sink, and you tolerate it. And all those little tolerations throughout the day build up until you've got this gigantic monkey on your frickin' back, and it's causing you stress. Imagine if you cleaned all that out. How much easier and better life would be. And then when you free up that clutter and you free up your mind and that weight in that chest, now you can focus on the things that matter more to you. It just frees you up. And not only that, you're going to have better relationships with the people around you anyway, because it's mutual. You're going to be happier. And that's going to reflect on your relationship with them. They're going to be happier. It's win-win. So you're not doing anybody any favors by tolerating the stuff that you don't like. All right? So we're going to raise the bar. God bless. This is Dr. Todd. Catch you on the next show.
I love you, Daddy.
We're counting on you.
My mom is a renegade.
Thanks for tuning in to Renegade Radio. If you haven't yet done so, please subscribe to us on iTunes and leave us a rating and review. Also, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TRFTribe. Please email us your questions for FAQ Friday, and we'll do our best to answer them in a future show. Simply email us at faq@therenegadefamily.com. If you got value from this episode and know someone else that would benefit from it as well, please share it with them.
Changing the world is going to start in your house. This is Dr. Todd, and from my family to yours, we wish you all the best. God bless, and we'll catch you soon.
Renegades, man up!